안녕하세요, 선인장입닏다. Hey guys, it's been a while since I've recorded here on YouTube, probably more than a month. I finally finished the bar exam, the New York bar exam that was remote and online. It was hard and it was traumatic, and I'll probably make a video about it because it was during COVID-19 lockdowns and it was constantly canceled and then rescheduled and then in person and then online, so it dragged out for like 5 months. Nothing new here other than I got legally married through a civil ceremony and probably gained about 10 pounds during the bar exam, bar prep. Got some gray hair that I haven't seen since I was studying for the LSAT, before the break or the hiatus drags out too long and I completely forget about YouTube. I just wanted to come and make a short video and just talk to you guys. Today I want to talk about what I wish I had done in law school better and what I'm glad I did. And I've also solicited some of my friends' opinions. Some of these friends went to the same law school as me, some of them went to different law school, some of them are Korean, some of them are American, some of them are white and black, and I just wanted to get a diverse opinions just to see if there's anything in common or just so I can help more people out. I also decided to start recording in English because when I talk about law school and just legal world, I study and I think in English, so it was hard for me to translate that into Korean and record that in Korean, even though Korean is my native language and I feel comfortable in it when I talk casually with people. So I just decided to record in English so it can reach a wider audience, and I kind of assumed that the Korean people who are most of my audience, who are watching to get some information of law school and who are interested in applying to law school, that they probably can speak English, and if not, I will add subtitles, but I just felt more comfortable recording in English when it comes to these subjects. So let's get into what I wish I had done in law school, what I'm glad to have done, and I'll start with what I wish I had done differently. I will call them my regrets in law school, and these are combined opinions of myself and a few of my girlfriends who are at different schools. So these are just our personal experiences, so take it with a grain of salt with like any advice that comes applying to law school and studying in law school. Number one, I wish I had learned how to be wrong more effectively sooner. So I think a lot of people who go into law school think that there is a certain way to be successful in law school when it comes to studying and outlining, and also most of the people who are at good law schools have excelled in high school and in college and had good GPA. So I think people are afraid to be wrong, and when it comes to law school there are a lot of cold calls and just unknown territories, and you're kind of expected to answer wrong so teachers or professors can teach you the subjects. So I just wish I didn't stress out so much about being wrong on cold calls and on papers and just in interactions. So that's very general, but I think it's really important advice that I got from friends, and I also agree. And then going along with that, it's okay to ask a lot of questions. Go into professors' office hours to discuss something you're curious about, but also things that you didn't understand during class times, because in law school there aren't frequent assessments along the way to prepare you for like the final exam. There's just the final in most classes and maybe a small midterm or paper. So it's up to you to really kind of get the material down so you can translate that into successful essays, exams. I think professors can be intimidating, especially in large lectures where professors just call on people, or they just have the reputation to be a little bit, I don't know, eccentric or harsh with cold calls or exams. But they have office hours for a reason. So I just wish I went into their office and just ask a lot of questions about topics. Even if you think you understand the material, just hearing them explain the materials really help you when you have to write an essay about it, because it is the professors that end up grading it, and it's good to understand the materials on their terms. And also, it kind of going into office hours and just discussing materials with professors really helps to foster a relationship with them, and they give wonderful advice about career, but also they write your recommendations and their references. So it's just a good way to learn the material, be successful in the class, but also, you know, have some references and develop relationship with the professors at law school. A second general area that a lot of people had some kind of regrets about is to just develop more friendships and relationship with the people at law school. I think we get into this mentality that law school is all about rankings and getting a job at the end, and you know, you're not really friends with them, with the people that you're studying with, but they are the people that you're spending 3 years with. And if you just make friends earlier on and study with them and just go through law school together, it's much easier and more enjoyable. And then third, I think most of my friends say they wish they just gotten more sleep and stressed out about classes and cold calls and exams a little less. I don't really have friends who say, oh, I wish I studied 30 more minutes a day or something like that. So the whole like no sleep, law schools being like a war zone is, I think, bullcrap. I think you should have a good healthy routine or have designated time off instead of just procrastinating and just stressing about things endlessly. I took most of my Friday nights and Saturday afternoons off. You know, that is shocking, I think. But unless I had like a brief due on Sunday, I took Friday nights and Saturdays off and still made it through law school. Maybe not during week or two before finals, but you don't have to be constantly studying is what I'm trying to say. And then the fourth area is you shouldn't think so much about what other people tell you that you should do. You can just kind of choose your extracurriculars and just not really do whatever other people say that you have to do, like, I don't know, do 2 journals or be involved in like 7-year organization with, you know, being on board of those organizations. Especially during your 3L, you should enjoy your life and take classes that you want. You shouldn't burn out, because you will be working whatever field you're in, whether that's law firms or public interest or government. You will be working a lot once you graduate, and you should try to arrange things that you can get most of your heavy load and the classes that you have to take to graduate your 1L year and like earlier 2L year, so you can focus on more niche areas or classes that you just want to take and you're interested in 3L year. A lot of these go in hand, but I'm gonna go on to the list. I made a little notes here. I'm gonna go into what I'm glad I've done. Number 1 is make more friends and prioritize friendships and relationships. I've already explained that, so you should just really try to have your group, your rocks and your support groups during law school, because it's emotionally really hard, and yeah, so that's important. And then also you should set boundaries on law school. And while you are there for 3 years, and your first year and your second year, you're kind of devoted to studying and just being successful in law school and interviewing and getting jobs, you should also set boundaries in a way that you have a set designated time off, like I've said, but also time for friends, time for other activities, and yeah, set boundaries. I was in a long distance relationship starting with the beginning of law school, and so I would be personally happy. I needed to have weekends where I visit my then boyfriend, and also when he visits Nashville. So yeah, it's important to set boundaries and make sure that you're not dedicating your entire like 24 hours to law school.